Coming up next on AVID Achievers, highlights from our 17th Annual Student Leadership Conference. Hello and welcome to AVID Achievers. I'm your host, Dot Arita, coordinator of AVID. Today we are going to celebrate our 17th Annual Student Leadership Conference. I'm joined by Kristen Lauder, AVID Site Coordinator from Glen Burnie High School, and Michaela Sims and Carly Moore, AVID Student Leaders from Glen Burnie High School. The AVID Student Leadership Conference is an annual collaborative event to celebrate student leaders in AVID. All 19 middle schools and 13 high schools send their AVID student leaders to represent their program. Each year, one high school host plans and executes the entire conference, featuring multiple sessions planned, presented, and attended by AVID students from across the county. We were unable to host the conference the last 2 years due to COVID restrictions, so we were really excited to get back to it. This year, Glen Burnie High School hosted the conference on Thursday, January 12th at Anne Arundel Community College with Principal Kevin Carr welcoming students from around the county, along with dignitaries and guests.
I want to thank the leadership, faculty, and students of the AVID program at Glen Burnie High School for allowing me this opportunity to speak on leadership and service. I cannot wait to witness the greatness that you achieve. Continue to grow in your leadership while serving others. And as you prepare for your post-high school future, remember that the lessons you have learned and the opportunities offered with the AVID program will support you in your leadership development.
The 17th Annual Conference was held at Anne Arundel Community College and was hosted by Glen Burnie High School. This year's conference theme was Learning Through Service. So the three of you were instrumental in the planning and execution of this year's conference. Tell us what goes into planning and preparing for an event like this.
Yes, so as far as the theme goes, we definitely wanted to make sure it was inclusive, and we incorporated all students across the county that were in AVID, so we definitely want to make sure we portrayed them in our logo, but also we wanted to make sure we were representing Glen Burnie as a whole, and so because we were part of Signature and they are learning through service, that's why we have that as our theme.
Also following the theme, we had to create bag donations because everyone that went received a gift, and we wanted to make sure it showed the entire school as a whole, not just the AVID, even though it was for AVID. The Beamer program donated like fidgets. We had pencils, granola bars, and other stuff going into the bag, and I think that was just a good treat for everyone to have and make it more memorable.
So I know everybody does love getting like the goodie bag at the conference with the program in there. Did you have some businesses donate some materials to the bags too? I saw there were some cups in there.
So we had a few businesses in Annapolis donate. There were cups from Heroes. There were also M&T Bank pens. We also had our student government actually donated pennants for each one of the students for each one of the bags. So that was very cool. And honestly, when the kids got the bags this year, they were super excited, and they were some of the best bags I feel that have ever been made. Also, as far as our Learning Through Service goes, we wanted to incorporate our signature program, which is our public service. So we were able to incorporate signature into the theme, and they were also instrumental in helping us to acquire our keynote speaker as well.
So it was a first this year. We had an actual service project at the Student Leadership Conference. So as students arrived at the venue, they were able to choose to help in packing boxes for Happy Helpers for the Homeless. And we were able to pack 100 boxes with food, which was distributed to 78 families in our county who are currently experiencing homelessness. So that was a special little event that we added this year to work with your theme. So I was appreciative of our service learning coordinator, Miss Lori Fowler, for helping to put that together for us. So tell me about the students arriving on campus. So the buses pull up, from each school. What did you guys do to welcome them to the conference?
We had the Glen Burnie High School majorettes there. We thought that was important because they were like the first majorette team in like the Anne Arundel County Public School area. So I think that was like a good thing to have there because they were the first, so it was just like it made our school different from others.
And it is also the first year we had majorettes
Yes.
at the Student Leadership Conference, and I think it was a great welcome and exciting for the students. So after the students arrive at campus, they gather in the auditorium for an opening session. Tell us what happens at this session.
So our student leaders from Glen Burnie were selected to speak at the opening session, and they introduced all of the speakers, and we were able to basically allow the students to come in and talk to each other and meet each other, and then basically the student speakers took over, and it was amazing to watch what they were able to do. In order to be the student speakers, they had to apply and fill out an application and write their speech, and a panel chose who was going to be the speaker, the two speakers, and they were amazing. And for a lot of them, it was their first time in front of a large crowd, and it was just awesome to see. And the AVID students were very engaged and were excited to hear about what AVID had done for those speakers.
So I know the superintendent welcomed students to the opening session. Carly, tell us a little bit more about that.
So Dr. Bedell came and he went upstage and he talked about AVID as a whole, and I think he made it very fun and inviting for a lot of the students. I know sometimes it could be overwhelming hearing from a lot of different speakers, but he made sure that they knew it was like AVID was something to be proud of, and I think all of us students there can agree with that.
But here's what I want to do. I want to present some data to you because I think it's important that you all understand that when you leave this school district, you will leave high school with the tools and skills needed to prepare you to be the innovators and leaders of this generation of folks that are coming out. It is also recognized that AVID students distinguish themselves in classrooms all over the country. I am a huge fan of AVID. I brought AVID to the Kansas City Public School District through support with a lot of philanthropy, and now it is built and it is really paying huge dividends. What I love about AVID is you all have to set goals for yourself. You have to work hard. You build a level of self-efficacy around your belief in your ability to do whatever it is that you want to do, and you will achieve and exceed those goals in many cases. You will make the commitments to take more challenging courses, and you still will find time to give back to others through service. And that is important. That's what makes this world a healthy world, when we can all find a way to dig deep to give back to those that are in need. So what I'm asking of you, and this is where you all can help. You are the next generation. You can change the tone and the tenure of this world. Here's what I can tell you. We have become so cold-hearted and so callous. The atrocities that happen to people, it happens so often that it's almost like it's neutralized, like it's just, okay, this is just another thing and we'll move on. We have to break that cycle. We have to bring love and compassion back into this world. And it's going to be through you all, this generation.
And he definitely wanted to show that hardships are meant to be overcome. Sorry.
Yeah, I think that message was
Yes.
heard by
Yes.
all who attended. So I think everyone will agree that every year one of the highlights of the opening session is the AVID student speakers who come from not the host school, but other schools to do the speech. So Ms. Louder, you were saying that they apply to be a student speaker, they write their speech is reviewed by a committee, and then students are selected. So what did you think of our first student speaker this year?
Our first student speaker, Josh Walker from Arundel Middle School, was amazing. He got up there and he spoke with so much passion, and he was excited and just spoke about how AVID has allowed him to grow as a person, and how it has taught him leadership skills, and that AVID's influence on his service, which was just amazing.
So let's check out some of his speech now.
As someone who has participated in the AVID program for the entire 3 years of my middle school journey, I can confidently say that AVID has played a role into shaping me into who I am today. Without AVID, I most likely wouldn't feel like pushing myself beyond the minimum requirements of everything. And through the AVID program, I've also met many great people, and I've had great times with them that I'll likely never get to experience again. I've been taught how to better myself, how to eliminate bad habits, how to make new friends, and all of these are opportunities given to me through this special program, and I sincerely thank it for all that it has done for me. I would like to thank my teacher, Mr. Roth, the AVID program as a whole, and all of my peers and friends that have helped me build this path of memories to truly form my opinion on this wonderful program.
Alan Osorio Bravo, a student from Broadneck High School, he talked about like a long range of service projects that will continue to help the families in Arnold.
Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Mi nombre es Alan Osorio Bravo y soy un estudiante de último año en Broadneck High School. Ha estado en AVID desde el grado 7. El próximo año planeo ir a la universidad donde voy a estudiar negociaciones o finanzas. Hoy estoy aquí para contarles mis experiencias con la aprendencia de servicio. Hi, how is everyone doing? My name is Alan Osorio Bravo. I am a senior at Broadneck High School. I've been in AVID since the 7th grade. Next year I plan to attend college where I will study business or finance. I am here today to tell you about my experience with learning through service. If you didn't understand the beginning of my speech, it is okay. I wanted to show everyone how it felt to not understand a language and to struggle with accomplishing simple tasks that are easy for native speakers. This is how many people, especially people of the Hispanic community, feel. Last summer, I came up with the idea of organizing an event that would help inform the Hispanic families at Broadneck about opportunities that their kids are able to take after high school. The point was to let Hispanic students and families know that there are many options for them. The first thing I did was talk to Mrs. Gail Davis, my AVID teacher at Broadneck. I knew she was a teacher that could come to and that would actually help me make my event come to life. Once I told her about the idea, we got straight to work. Mrs. Davis was able to get the event approved and get help from multiple teachers and staff members from our school. We hosted our first Hispanic College and Career Night on December 8, 2022, and it was a huge success. With our interpreter, we were able to inform the families about opportunities that their kids are able to take once they graduate high school. It was so successful, we decided we wanted to offer this more than once a year and open the session up for more than juniors and seniors, but to parents of all Hispanic students, even those in elementary school. The goal is to make this an annual event for families to come and learn new things that would benefit their kids. The plan is also to have more evenings that address the needs of the Hispanic families on our Broadneck Peninsula.
So Alan did a good job of sharing this project that he had worked on for more than a year,
Yes.
and enlisted the help of his AVID teacher to get this lasting project off the ground. And it is something that they plan to continue for years in the Broadneck cluster. So that was really exciting to see, and it fit right in with our theme as well.
And I just want to add that is his project was inspiring to our school as well, and we're planning on incorporating some of those nights at Glen Burnie as well. So we learned from him too, and it was amazing.
That's great. And I think a lot of the AVID students and leaders, or teacher leaders in the audience, were thinking, what a great idea. This is maybe something we can consider to replicate in our own schools. So that was a really exciting and unintended impact from Alan sharing his experience. So one other part of the opening session each year is we have a keynote speaker, and usually the keynote speaker is tied to the theme. And how did you choose a keynote speaker for this year?
So this year we had Andy Schindling, who was amazing. We chose him because he's worked with students around Anne Arundel County, teaching them leadership skills and just basically telling his story and allowing the students to grow. And we thought his story was amazing, and he was inspirational, and he spoke to them in a way that they could relate to. And so I thought that having him as our keynote speaker would really speak volumes at the conference and give not only our AVID ninth graders who he worked with, but all AVID students around the county a vision of what can happen when somebody really is dedicated to service.
And Andy was a good choice because his whole career, his whole life, his whole organization is about serving others.
Yes.
So he was an excellent choice to share, his passion for service with students. So let's check out some of his speech now.
I want to just start with a quote here that says, "Service should be heart-led and desired, not out of obligation or as an ends to a mean, but to bring forth a spirit of joy out from the one serving and a spirit of love into the one being served." It should be heart-led and desired and not out of obligation. I want you all to think about that. Why do we serve?
So after the opening session, all of the students move into student sessions. So tell me a little bit about what happens then.
Yes, so students from around the county, they choose a topic where they then submit a proposal, then they present that during the session at AACC, where they talk about what their proposal was, and other students from across the county can come in and they rotate and get to learn about all the other different schools.
So Michaela, you attended one of the sessions, right? Tell us a little bit about your session.
The session that I was in, they talked about the service learning portal. They just showed us how to use it, the benefits from it. Even in the portal, they elaborated on the fact that it was a graduation requirement, but they was just trying to show like it could be more than just a graduation requirement. And in the portal, they had a whole bunch of stuff like different places could go, different organizations. So I thought that was really cool for them.
So had you used the service learning portal prior to that?
Yes, and someone at our school named Timmy is actually like in the top 3 of having the most hours as well, yeah.
That's awesome. So even though you had already used the service learning portal, did you learn something in your session?
I did. I found a lot more organizations that I didn't know existed or that were so close to where we were as well, yeah.
Great, that's awesome. So the students at each school choose the topic for their session. They present to other students. It's almost like a classroom experience where the students are teaching other students.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, and then those students, when we select students to come to the leadership conference, they are AVID leaders, so those AVID leaders can then take it back to their school and kind of grow those skills. And they also, there's team building exercises, and there's just all service learning opportunities, and just a lot of different topics that they get, and they get to choose which sessions they go to. So it's really neat for the students to have that type of choice too.
Yep, and it has that like real conference feel, which is great. So Alicia Kim, a senior from Arundel High School, reflected on one of the sessions she attended.
I think it's going great. It's a great opportunity for students, especially middle school students, to learn about how they can get involved right now or even in the near future. And the session that I went to right before the one that I'm going to lead right now, it was great. We did a great activity where we got to learn about personalities and how we can better work with other people. So it's been a lot of fun.
Okay, Michaela, what was your role during the conference and what did that entail?
My original role, well, I had 2 roles. My first one, I was a speaker at the conference, so I just gave an opening. I did the Pledge of Allegiance. And then I was a hostess in the one of the actual academic sessions where they talked about the service learning portal.
Nice. And Carly, what did you do?
And me as well, I was also a student speaker, and I introduced Dr. Bedell, and I had the privilege of doing that. And then afterwards, I also assisted in some of the sessions and just making sure everything was organized and going as planned.
Okay. And what was your favorite part of the day?
My favorite part was definitely I got the opportunity to see my 8th grade AVID teacher that I hadn't seen I'm a senior now, so it's been 4 years almost, and it was just awesome to see her and see how far we come. And she definitely like applauded me for my my speech, and she said how proud she was of me and how far I've came from AVID. Her name's Miss Webb, and it was so nice just seeing her. And even now, like, she gave me her information before I left, so I even told her like where I'm planning on going to college now, and it's so cool just to see how far I've come since then.
And where are you planning on going to college? You gotta say it on video.
Hopefully Penn State. Hopefully.
Awesome.
Great. My favorite part about the conference was when the superintendent spoke. I feel like it was inspirational, but it was like lighthearted, but like had a lot of meaning behind it as well at the same time.
It for sure was lighthearted. It was very entertaining, and we have already requested that next year he be our keynote speaker, as well as welcoming students, because his speech was very entertaining and engaging. And
Yes.
It had a lot of meaning, yeah.
Yeah, everyone enjoyed it. Ms. Louder, what was your favorite part?
So my favorite part was one of our Glen Burnie AVID students, Kaden Goodrich, actually wrote an original rap to perform during lunch that dealt with the leadership conference and leadership in general. And he got up there and just was amazing, and the kids were so excited when he started to rap, and he was so proud of himself and just all the work he put into it. And he was actually asked to perform another rap at the Civics for All conference April 20th, which is amazing. And he wrote another original rap and he's going to perform that there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So he got some booked a gig.
Yep, he booked a gig. He
Leadership
booked a gig.
conference. And we did get some footage of Kaden practicing the rap prior. We wanted to get that uninterrupted footage so that we could actually hear the rap. So we're going to go ahead and share that with you now.
We go to AVID, we go to college, we ready to keep our life steady. We headed to places where we can get ready, fairly here you can forget it. Ready to live my life in college for real, if college gon' pay these bills. I got like tens and hundreds and thousands of bills, I flip it and turn it to mills. Y'all need to go to class, English, science, history, and math. Build your future, then you walk the path. God, I'm thankful for this AVID class. Let me state the facts like a chart and graph. In my class, taking current notes, bad grades, they don't want the smoke. To succeed, you can't stay remote. I got bigger dreams than Noah's boat. Noah's Ark. Go to class, then press start. We need engineers like Tony Stark. You can go to college and pursue the arts. You can be the soldier with the silver stars. Your determination's where your purpose starts. All it takes is a little heart, cause as young adults need to play our part. That's what AVID taught me. Need the good, get the bad up off me. Understand what your college offering so you can get a good job offering and be confident. It'll feel good when you start graduating. I'm talking success, but that feeling's amazing. To make it better, you have to be patient and you get the credit to say that you made it. Let's go.
Okay, so the sessions wrap up and everybody comes back together for lunch at Anne Arundel Community College. Were you guys able to move around and socialize during that time, or were you busy helping?
I think a little bit of both. I definitely tried to move around and socialize and try to talk to as many people as I could, but still making sure it was really fun. I think it was just a really fun and inviting environment for everybody. That I feel like AVID is its own family in its own, and I think seeing everybody from around the county and everybody being together, it just makes it so much closer.
Yeah, I definitely can second that. Like, it was like I was trying to like control stuff at the same time, but I was still talking to people, and everyone seemed happy about it. So, yeah.
I think it's special that we're on a college campus, right?
Yes.
We're eating lunch in the dining hall at the campus, and like you said, it's all of our AVID family there, right?
Yes.
Like every AVID student in the county isn't there, but the ones that are there representing their schools are excited to talk to each other and to meet each other, and we do all have that like commonality. You know,
Right.
we are all AVID, and I think it's really special to have that time to just talk to each other.
And it's also a great opportunity for the AVID teachers to get together and talk. And I know, even though, you know, I was running around that day with everything going on, it was just amazing to see some of the other AVID teachers around the county just, you know, and talk and hug and say, hey, what's up, and how's your year going? And so it was just a great experience.
And even then, I think I saw so many students just step up and really take over, and just you could see how strong and AVID is for students now, and how much they try to like really showcase what they want to do and what they want to learn for, and how much AVID has helped them, because nobody had any problem introducing them to each other, and even in the sessions, everybody was super enjoyable to watch and super confident. And I think that's what most mattered.
Yeah, and they were all in like a room full of people that they didn't know. So it's
Exactly.
like the group that I had like an icebreaker game or whatever, but everyone seemed to be participating. Like everyone seemed to have a good time.
That's great. So this is a huge undertaking to plan this event, and
Yes.
I know you guys started planning last school year. What are you most proud of from what unfolded on the day of the event?
I say, honestly, I'm really proud of how hard I feel like not only Glen Burnie as a whole, but also all AVID students across the county jumped from having COVID be so deterring from, what our usual used to be. Like you said, this is the conference that we've jumped out of from like how long since the last one, to going out there since then and just being completely prepared. Like both the students that were in the sessions as well as Glen Burnie as a whole. We had the majorettes out there, we had the students speaking, and I think everybody was just happy to, I guess, pick up from where we left off at the old conference. And I think I was so happy to just see how much we worked together and how easy it was with the family that we have here.
I think I was just impressed by how like it was so student led, and it just unfolded exactly how it was supposed to.
If not better.
Right, if not better.
And I honestly was the most proud of my student leaders. My AVID team did everything. The students picked the theme, the students did the bags. And even on that day, they took charge. And it was just amazing to watch the growth from the beginning of the year to the conference. And they were so confident and so ready to go and willing to help anyone with anything. It made my heart melt, and that's why I teach AVID. It was incredible. It was amazing, and I couldn't have done it without them. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So the 17th Annual Student Leadership Conference was an event to remember for sure. We look forward to doing it again next year, also at Anne Arundel Community College. The event will be hosted by Old Mill High School, so they're starting their preparation now for next year's event. And we look forward to that amazing day again with our students next year. We look forward to sharing our next leadership conference with you as well, and we look forward to seeing you next time on AVID Achievers.